What's up, Vangas?
Cheerio, Vangas!
Hello, Ankos.
Yes. We are here in Silverstone in the Pirelli motorhome.
Yes.
We are in the paddock. We're feeling crazy. You're feeling like, oh, I've been here a million times, but for us, we feel insane.
Yes.
And what we're feeling, I think, most acutely is that it feels we're getting to know just how much being in the F1 paddock feels like you're in high school, and it feels like it's our orientation, and you're like our senior buddy who's like, this is the lay of the land, this is who the people are, this is what the vibes are, and we're feeling very taken care of by you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he's half of the time asleep.
Well, we are jet lagged. But
I told you that in confidence that I was jet lagged. I try to come in here and pretend that I have energy.
Yeah.
And then I'm excited.
But
You know?
Are you asleep yet?
I'm very excited. And then, walking down the paddock, you feel like you're in the halls out of the high school. And then, Guenther, you said, I'm by Pirelli, and you walk and you walk and you walk and you walk, and you get a feeling about who the haves and the have-nots are by the size of the motorhome. And I saw at the very end, like in Siberia, it feels like was the Haas one. I mean,
Could you see it? Could you see it?
You miss it. I mean, that was bleak.
Well, you feel it. My freshman year of college, I was in the dorm. It was called Hammerschlag. It was an all-male dorm, and it was on the very edge of campus.
Yeah.
We were basically in the city of Pittsburgh, no longer on the campus anymore. That's what it feels like where we are, right? That's what it feels like the Haas garage is. It's like at the edge of campus. That's what it felt like.
So as a guy trying to woo a sponsor, it kind of feels like you're trying to get a beautiful girl to come home with you, and you have the shittiest apartment.
Yeah, you've got a double white, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You get the double white.
Was that what it was like, trying to land these big sponsors, and you just have this dump of a place?
Yeah, you explain them. Oh, you don't need a big motorhome. The small one is very cozy, it's very nice, and all that stuff. You try to explain that to them. That is how you try to get them into the motorhome, because they cannot get out anymore because it's so small,
Right.
And so it's an advantage because then you can corner them.
Yeah, exactly. You corner them, and they actually, I think at some stage they feel sorry for you.
Right. There's something kind of cute and endearing about when someone goes home with someone. You're like, oh, look at your cute little shitty apartment. Yeah. But look how you've decorated it, right? Yeah. And there's something maybe endearing about
so
it.
It's a pity. It's a pity
pitch.
Yeah. A pity pitch.
Yeah.
Well,
speaking of sponsors.
We're
going to do some fan questions. A sponsor wants to know, what's your Chipotle order?
Well, I don't remember it now. It's
but they're not paying you anymore, so fuck them.
That was mean.
Yeah.
No, I need the menu in front of me. I haven't been there quite a while now. My Greta goes there quite a lot. She goes there a lot, but I just pay for that one. I don't eat it.
You don't get free Chipotle for life.
No.
You don't walk in there and they even charge you for the guac.
Yeah, the extra guac. Extra guac, which I made for Chipotle. I mean, I'm at the time, so
that's right.
I'm a expert guac maker.
Okay, all right. We got a bunch of fan questions that we're going to be asking. That was one. We got another one. Speaking of food, this is from 1M1 Official. What is your favorite food? If you had to pick any food in the world to eat.
Italian food.
Do you have a specific Italian food order?
I like all kind of pasta, and I like also barbecue. Meat, I like barbecued. I don't like it the Italian way. I like it barbecued, but I like pasta a lot. I eat quite a lot of pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Do you have like a spaghetti bolognese, or
spaghetti bolognese, which I make myself.
Pepe? Like, what are we talking about here?
You surprised me.
Come on.
Pepe.
Are you a cacio pepe kind of guy? Or you a spaghetti bolo kind of guy?
I love cacio pepe, but cacio pepe, it's very simple but very difficult to make.
It is.
Right.
A good cacio pepe is hard to find.
I always get the nuts in it, crumbled up and all that stuff. So,
what about carbonara? Where like?
I think we're gonna have carbonara at lunch today.
Okay.
So carbonara. In wintertime, in summertime, is like it takes days to digest.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
You're a little bit of an expert in food here, So where does that come from?
Cacio
pepe for a guy, which
for
Malay.
From New York.
New York.
Italians.
It's like
New York
a second Italy.
I grew up going to Little Italy. You know, I got to catch a pepe.
But catch a
Have you seen any of the movies? There's a couple of Italians in New York.
Just a few,
just a few.
All good people.
Yeah.
All good people.
Yeah.
Do you ever cook pasta, or you just only eat it?
No, I cook it.
Okay.
Who do you think is cooking my pasta?
I don't know. Private chef.
Chef.
Yeah, I wish, you know.
Yeah.
Flown in on your
So you're
helicopter
doing
from Italy.
So you're doing all the cooking at home.
Not all of it, but quite a lot I do cooking at home. Yeah, I quite like cooking, you know. It takes you away from everything else. Because if you cook and you don't focus on it, it's going to taste
Right. Like
not
shit.
good.
Not good.
Not
Yeah.
good.
What's your
Oh, so you have it gets you something to focus on.
Correct,
Are you a recipe guy, or are you a kind of
I made
all
it.
feel?
All free, yeah.
Okay.
Freestyling.
Just like
yeah.
whatever's in the cupboard, and then you'll make something work out of it.
Oh,
Okay.
I go to buy grocery before as well sometimes, not what is just left in the cupboard, you know.
When did you first learn to cook? Where did you grow up cooking? Did you something you learned later in life?
No, I grew up cooking because I was at home a lot on my own when I was a kid because my parents were working, so I had to arrange myself, you know, get something.
What did your parents do for work? What did they do for
they had a butcher shop. You know, so I know quite a bit of meat. That for I like meat, and that for I like barbecue. You know, it's
Did you ever work in the butcher shop?
No, I never worked. I mean, obviously as a kid, I went with my father sometimes, you know, to the slaughterhouse and things like this, but I never worked there, no.
Did that like scar? I imagine if you're like the son of a butcher, like you would have like, I'm just imagining like a little Guenther going into the slaughter shop and either being like, yes.
Turned on by it?
Yeah, either liking it or being terrified of it. Did you have an experience with the butcher shop?
No, I mean, you go to the slaughterhouse. If you go up with it, you get used to it, you know.
Right.
I mean, you cannot be terrified. I mean, you don't love it. I mean, seeing a cattle being shot or a pig being killed, you know.
Right.
It's what they do, you know.
Well, it was training for the cutthroat world of Formula One, because
Exactly.
sometimes you just gotta fucking put someone out of their misery.
and Mercy Kill, were you an only child?
No, I've got a sister.
Older, younger?
Older, 2 years older.
How much older?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years.
So you were not alone in the house.
No.
But you did. But you had to. Were you close with her, or you felt like you had to entertain yourself?
No, I mean, we were not really close. Normally close, you know, like with your sister. You know, everyone has his own thing. You know, it was a sister 2 years older. She had her friends, I had my friends.
Right.
But we weren't hanging out together. But yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So do you have a signature dish? Like gun to your head, you have to make me a meal, or I'm gonna and I gotta like it, or I'm gonna take you to the
take you down, take you
to the butcher shop.
Take you down. Yeah, I would make you some pasta with bolognese ragu. You know,
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's pretty nice.
We got to leave that up to you. So in my experience cooking a pasta bolognese, the best way to do it is you start in the morning and you let it cook all day.
Yeah, quite a
You
while.
gotta
Or you leave it overnight, you know.
Leave it overnight, exactly.
And heat it up, you see.
12 hours. You want 12 hours.
I guess you're cooking quite a lot.
Well, it was a pandemic kind of thing. My girlfriend and I were just like, you know, I never really cooked like that.
But did you have a life before the pandemic? Because you started the spot in the pandemic. You started to cook in the pandemic. What did you do before?
I was born in 2019, I believe. I did have a life. It wasn't one that I was particularly happy with.
I'm proud
but
of.
technically, I did have
And now
one.
you're happy.
And now, well, I'm in the Silverstone paddock with Guenther Steiner and the Pirelli fucking motorhome.
By the way, if you told us we were in the Silverstone paddock with Guenther Steiner, all these things, I was like, what are those words
Right.
saying?
In 2019, I would be like, who is that? What is that?
Silverstone?
What is Formula One?
Yeah.
And certainly, who is Guenther Steiner?
Yeah.
He sounds scary.
Yeah.
But you know what bolognese sauce was?
I learned, I had like a bolognese in my life,
Okay.
but I really
So
learned
cooking.
during the
Are
pandemic.
you cooking?
No.
You were very quiet there when he explained how he's
you
cooking.
cook like a chicken.
I'll literally I'll just put chicken on a pan and cook it till it's done. No seasoning, nothing. It's just fuel for me.
It's just like
It's just sustenance.
He's like a Formula One
It's
driver.
to
He's
get
just
through
all
I like to
optimizing.
eat, but like I don't like spending any more time making something than it takes me to eat it. Like I want to spend an hour making something that takes me 20 minutes to eat. That just seems
waste of time for
waste of time.
Sometimes I'll be talking to Matt on the phone. I'll just hear crackling. I'll be like, cooking your plain chicken. He'll be like, yep. And I'll just hear the crackle of the pan. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's move on to some more fan questions. Okay, this is from It's Selly. How often do the team principals get together socially? Are there cliques? Or did you have favorites in your time? Like, how much is in the high school of the paddock? Because that's what it feels like. How much is like the whole gang getting together? Or are there like little pockets
cool
of gangs?
kids?
Cool kids. Like, where did you sit within the hierarchy?
The whole gang, once a year they get together. Stefan invites everybody when the team principals are in Imola.
Yes.
It's a very nice restaurant there.
Right.
Very well-known restaurant. He invites everybody for dinner.
Okay.
One of the evenings, I think Friday.
What are the vibes of that dinner? Is it awkward or is it
No,
fun?
it's pretty good, because nobody cares.
Are we drinking? Are we getting
No.
drunk?
No. We are not going this far, Don't not go this far drinking. No.
There's no wine at the dinner table.
Oh, there is wine at the dinner table, but not getting drunk.
Oh, okay.
You can drink wine without getting drunk,
Well,
Okay.
But I just think of when you get with the reunion. I just had my 10-year college reunion. You don't see people for a while.
And you get a headache 3 days after that.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not like this. No. Socially, between people, I mean, some of the people know each other a long time. Like when Mattia was around, we went out for dinner maybe 3-4 times a year, to a nice restaurant somewhere when we had time. Or then sometimes he came to eat in our motorhome when we had, for example, in Japan, very nice Wagyu beef.
Okay.
Because I know a Japanese guy which always brought the best of the best Wagyu beef. So he cooked for us. So I invited Fred and Mattia and people like this, or Mario from Pirelli.
They came to the Haas motorhome in Japan?
Yeah, but that was not the motorhome there. It's just everybody has got the same little room, because it's Japan. It's very small.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everybody's the same.
It was a spec. It was the one time it was a spec.
No, it's all flyaways. It's always spec.
I see.
Okay.
Everybody's got the same flyaways.
So,
They're all socialistic flyaways,
So you prefer that?
Couldn't see a difference.
you don't care.
I don't care. Yeah. Like a lot of things, I don't care. So.
Right.
You don't have anything that peeves you, pisses you off? You don't have any pet peeves?
People being late.
Really?
Yeah. People being late without having a good reason, not excuse, but there can be reasons why you're late. If you're an accident, or if the plane is late, you cannot do anything about it. I understand that, but just being late for the sake of being late, is I get annoyed pretty quick.
I see.
Okay,
we know that you're a very punctual guy, even an early guy, because when we recorded our first episode.
I try always to be there on time because I need to lead by example. If it pisses me off, I cannot be late.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you gotta set the tone.
Yeah.
You looked at me very intensely there. Like,
Don't be late.
Don't be late.
Were you ever? What's in one of those team principal dinners? Did you ever get stuck? Like when you get there, are you like, let me beeline to Fred or Mattia or Toto, or is it kind of like you ever get stuck talking to someone? You don't have to name names, but you ever had some awkward conversations?
No.
You can get on with anyone.
I get on. You can. In my opinion, you can. Yeah, exactly. You can agree to disagree. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine with me. I don't hold all grudges. You say,
yeah. Grudge,
it's fine. I don't hold a grudge. It's fine. I mean, I can disagree. If I think it's wrong, I tell you.
Yeah.
And then you can do what you want with it. I mean, you can be upset with me or not, but it doesn't change my life. I mean, how I behave.
It seems to be that you're very good at compartmentalizing. That you can kind of like have a spat with someone, but it doesn't necessarily affect you, and like your heart doesn't spike when you necessarily see that person.
No.
But not everyone's like that. I think that might be something that is unique to you.
Yeah, I saw Ralph Schumacher in the Red Bull hospitality, and I got stressed out for you.
For you.
I don't know why I got a high five for being neurotic. Neurotic.
Yeah.
He enjoys that you're getting the runoff.
Me,
Yeah, that's right.
I take it on. Someone's got to take it on. I'm like, oh my God, if I was Guenther, I'd be freaking out.
I don't freak out when I see him.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would I? I haven't done anything wrong.
It's awkward. He doesn't like you.
It's fine. Not everybody has to like me.
See, yeah.
But does everybody like you?
And the irony is no.
Yes.
No. No. I mean, what do you think? The irony is that you don't care if people like you, and then you're so likable.
Right.
I'm jealous.
Maybe that's the key.
Maybe that's the key.
Okay. Let's keep it rolling here. We got more fan questions to ask. We're going to get into some actual hard-hitting F1 questions here. This is from Buffy Lars 1 Elliott. What is one rule that you would change in Formula One to make it better?
I don't think with one rule. I'm not. What I would, I would make permanent stewards.
Permanent stewards.
Permanent stewards.
Yes.
A professional that they're doing it as a job.
Yeah.
A job. You are steward. You get paid. You do a job. If you do a bad job, you don't have a job anymore. Because these guys, I mean, they try hard, but they're not permanent.
Right.
They get paid very little. You know, obviously they like to do it. Otherwise they wouldn't come along. But still, if they do wrong, there's no repercussion.
Why don't they have professional stewards? Just money? Cheap?
I don't know. I mean, I bring this up since 10 years, and I never get an answer. Maybe you can get one.
It's crazy. Do you think that there's a political, because it's like, if you think about every other professional sports league, it's the referees.
But that's what we are used to.
They
are pros because if they do wrong, exactly.
The best pros, like in the MLB, the best umps for the whole season, they're the ones who call the World Series.
Yeah.
The best refs call the Super Bowl. That's the thing. But in F1, do you think that there's a political aspect of it where like kind of people like wearing the hat for a weekend?
I think so. And the FIA is a federation. It's a federation, and the federation is basically a lot of volunteers there as well. So
right.
It's a lot of elected people. It's not like a business. It's a federation.
Right.
So there is in the end it was set up by guys or by people which had a common goal or like motorsport or cars, and they set up a federation to organize it, that there is a system in place, but it never went really. I mean, the technical director, they are all professionals, but the stewards, the referees are not.
Guenther, but F1 pays the FIA how much money?
A lot.
To regulate the sports?
Yeah, a lot.
Like $100 million, something.
Yeah, something like this, yeah.
And they can't hire professional stewards?
They don't want to, I think. I mean, I think they can. With 100 million, you can buy. They are not this expensive, the stewards.
Yeah.
How would that work? Like who is that? Would it be F1 lobbying for that to be a part of the case, or is it just like the FIA is like, no,
the FIA has got that authority.
It's all the FIA.
It's FIA. The FIA has got the duty and the power to regulate the sport as an independent.
But it seems like F1 has some power over them, don't they?
Sure.
They wanted to affect.
But I think then that would be called interference. Huh? If you have a contract with them and you tell them that they are regulating it, you cannot tell them what to do because then you are doing it,
Right.
So I think it's a fine line you need to walk on.
Well, we're going to be talking to Stefano Domenicali in a little bit. Should we ask him this question?
Yeah, you can ask him. He knows my opinion anyway. I don't have to ask him.
All right, we'll ask him. We'll ask him. Okay.
We'll get in there.
We'll grill him. So recently there was a big hiring and by your old team. Angela Broom 10 has wants to know your thoughts on Bearman going to Haas.
I think it's very good. I mean, the discussion started already last year when I was still there. Last year, I did 2 FP1s. The plan was to do 6 FP1s this year.
Yeah.
It was decided last year. And then if he did a good job, going to the race seat in 25.
Yeah.
But that's all happening.
Well, I want to hear that because I've listened to a lot of, newscasters talking in the sport, talking about, his FP1 in Miami. That was legendary. It was legendary. And then Io Komatsu only had eyes for Oliver. You were there? I mean, what did you remember? It's like some eye-popping numbers at the FP1, or like the data just blew you away?
No. It's an FP1. I mean, in the FP1, I think in FP1, I more look at how the guy behaves, how you interact with him, how he works as a team member. Okay. The racing, I think the racing skills, once you're good in F2 and you get into to Formula 1 and you are a Ferrari junior driver, you need to rely on that the basis is good, and then obviously from the basis to being a very good F1 driver, you need to drive an F1 car. Right. I mean, if you would see it in one FP1, the future world champion, a lot of people would have a lot of young drivers in FP1, and then you can pick up the best. It's all a process, but what I'm looking for is how the guy adapts to it, how he communicates with the team. Obviously, out on the track because when I spoke with him, I said the worst thing you can do is wreck the car, because everybody will remember that one. But if you are fastest, nobody will care. So don't not do the negative one, because if you wreck the car the first time, you have no chance, anymore.
Totally.
Yeah.
But you and I wanted to just follow up on Ollie Bearman. Is it weird that he's not doing so on F2 and he's getting a seat?
It is a little bit weird when you look from outside. You're right to say that but it's the same with Kimi Antonelli. The Mercedes driver. They're in the same team.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're an expert in F2 as well, like in F1.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
The team they're racing, there is a new car in F2 this year, and the team they're racing for, it was always, I would say, the best, and if it wasn't the best, it was the second best team in F2.
Right.
And I think they struggle a little bit with the new spec car this year, because both of the drivers, they're both big talent and they both struggle in F2. So it could be that the team, to adapt to the new F2 car, that they are struggling a little bit, because they're both not really quick. So obviously you look at it and you say, but then again I say Ollie drove an F1 car in one of the races, and once you know you're in F1, it's like I try hard, but do I try hard?
Right.
And maybe he would say complete something different, but
if we're being honest.
But what's the point of F2 at the end of the day if a guy like Paul Aaron or the people in the top three are just nowhere, and you're just going to hire?
Yeah, it must suck to be Paul Aaron right now. Leading the championship in this hyper competitive F2 season.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he's like, every seat's going to everyone else
except me. The guy which is P12 is going to go to F1, and I'm still racing.
Right. I'm having a great season in this wildly competitive F2 season.
Yeah.
He will not be happy, I guess.
I don't think
that's your analysis. I agree with that analysis.
I agree that he won't be happy. I'm curious. We were downstairs. You were watching FP3. We saw you. You were really
Kathy. You're like the life of the party, talking to everybody. FP3 comes on, and you're just locked in.
You were locked in. I guess, as you know, we are, as much as we know everything about F1, we are newer fans, and sometimes, like when we watch the practice sessions, we get a little bit like, what does this mean? I don't like, why should I? It's hard to really know what to like look for watching a thing like that. And I was just watching you with the Pirelli team. We had the Doppler radar. You were really locked in. Like, what were your impressions from today? What did you take away from this FP3 session, and what can people look for?
Today I didn't take away a lot because it was raining. For me, it was more like how is the tire behaving? How long does it take the track to dry off? I just want to get the information if something happens out there, because when I'm doing TV on the race weekend, I need to know what's going on. It's not like, oh, did you see in FP3 this happen? No, I was hanging out with my friends having coffee, So that wouldn't go down well. But those are out of interest, But normally a normal FP3, you watch which tires they use, so you know what they are planning for the race already.
Right.
How quick they are. Then you normally know what mode they run or how much fuel. So for qualifying, going into qualifying, who will be good. Because if you're on TV and before qualifying, they ask you, who do you think will be fast in qualifying? And then if you've got a little bit of knowledge of it and understanding, it's easier to answer and give people information which watching TV.
Right.
That is, and TV stations are happy if they have got somebody who, it's called an expert. I mean, it's a big word, being an expert.
But
it's a challenge sometimes knowing this much, and having to distill it for the common folk.
But I guess but can do you have like internal information about like which engine mode they're running, or you just understand like they must be running this engine mode?
I normally I don't have that information. You can get that information if you look at the top speed. If I really want to know, I can find it. But normally my gut feeling knows when you open up the engine completely full, I know that. And the fuel as well. The first 3-4 races, it's a lot of guesswork, but all the teams normally, it's a little bit of raining now.
As you can hear, we're in Silverstone, and it's raining cats and dogs, and there's lots of loud noise, but
the fuel figures you roughly know, because the teams, each team has got its own strategy, how they use it, and you're within 10 kilos, so but normally after the 5th or 6th race, what to look for.
Okay. Something for our listeners to watch FP3 with a little bit more knowledge.
That was fun. Knowing FP3 is fun for me.
It's fun, but it makes you feel.
So what do you like better, FP3 or a sprint race? I mean, FP2 and FP3 or a sprint race?
It's like asking me which one of my future kids I'll like the most. You know what I'm saying? I love them all.
The answer is a sprint race.
Yeah.
we don't give a shit about FP1, 2, or 3.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree as well. I always said as well, when the sprint race comes along, because even sitting on pit wall, sometimes FP2 and FP3 is like your legs fall asleep. You know? Wait, what I'm watching, here, gathering data.
You get bored. You got bored as a team principal, and
everything. When you just go in circles gathering data that people can look at it, it's if you have got an alternative of watching a race. If you're a team principal, you watch a race because you want to compete. I'm not there to gather data. I mean,
You're only gathering data in order to compete.
I know you're used to jet lag. I am not. I fell asleep at a Brookstones a couple of days ago. Your book was like right out front. It was hilarious. I was like, hi, Guenther. And then I went.
And then I fell asleep.
And then
it was so hilarious that you fell asleep. Yeah. Thanks.
And then, but I guess, have you ever seen someone fall asleep on the pit wall?
No, not really. I mean, I can see. I sometimes you can. If you look back at something when they put me on TV, I look pretty bored. I'm not asleep. It's just like keep on going in circles here. But it's all right. But it's nothing exciting. So, but no falling asleep. Not to answer.
Okay. No one's falling asleep on the job. This is still the pinnacle of motorsport, even if sometimes it feels like it's not. Okay, this is from Grace Robinson 6. What's the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
A few years ago that I got sacked,
That you got sacked?
Yeah.
Where did those come from? You have no idea.
I have no idea.
But a lot of times, like there's a motive behind the rumors, right? Somebody's floating it out there.
You're saying that there's no smoke without a fire.
No, I'm just saying there's an agenda.
Well, sometimes people put a rumor out there because they want a certain narrative.
Yeah.
You have been watching F1 too long now already.
See, so now we know about it. This is the stuff we care about behind the scenes, the interpersonal.
You don't care about FP2 and FP3, but
we care about people planting rumors.
Yeah, the soap operas, yeah.
I heard a rumor that you were taking over Mercedes. That's a rumor that I heard.
I'm taking over completely Mercedes.
Yeah, CEO.
That's the rumor that the team. I mean,
let's start. What's a rumor we want to start right now?
Yeah, what's a rumor you want to start about yourself?
Taking over Mercedes.
Taking over Formula One.
Taking over Formula One. Okay. Let's start.
We're talking to Stefano Domenicali in a bit.
Hold on one second. Whoa. I just heard from a very credible source that you might be taking over Formula One.
Oh my God! Wait. Wow!
Isn't it?
The BBC is reporting it.
I'm going to take it. It's from a very credible source.
Yeah.
So, speaking of juicy, spicy rumors, can you walk us through your journey with Rich Energy?
Yeah, this is someone wants to know. Pribble Prabble wants to know, what was your involvement of getting Rich Energy on board, and when did you realize it was ... not great? Because what someone wrote.
Because the rumor was that you stole them from Williams. That was the rumor. And then you were like...
And then you're like, what did I steal?
What did I steal?
Exactly. Yeah. you want them back.
And you were feeling like a real smart guy. That you said.
No, actually, I mean, as long as they was there with us, they paid their money, and then we took them. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Rich Energy wasn't bad?
No, not in the beginning. I mean...
in the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning. The first half year was great.
Really?
They did what they said they were going to do. Just for the second half, they didn't. And that is why it ended, It wasn't... there was a lot more made out of it. Obviously, difficult characters to deal with.
Right.
Difficult. But, I mean, who cares?
Right. He's got, if he had the money.
Exactly.
Which he did in the beginning and then didn't later on. Yeah,
in the beginning, and there was a good plan in place. They just couldn't do what they wanted to do. There was a lot of investors' money in there and stuff like this. They couldn't do what they wanted to do, and that's it ended.
Do you meet how many kind of eccentric, billionaire guys do you meet like that with the crazy beard and the flashy stuff? Like, how common is that?
He's not a billionaire.
Hey, I know. we know that now. Yeah. But are those? How often are you kind of running into people with that kind of style?
No, of that style, never.
Never.
Well, now you're the one and only.
Yeah.
You never got close with somebody else that was kind of crazy like that. And you're like, never mind, it's not worth it.
Oh yeah, you get close to people like this, but obviously live and learn. I learned my lessons as well. I'm not ignorant.
Right.
Yeah, I'm mad but not stupid. So. And when you go forward, obviously you meet people and say, is this credible or not? Is this people just trying something on, and then you say thanks but no thanks, and you move on.
Did you ever try Rich Energy, the drink?
Yes,
You're one of a handful.
You're one of five.
One
One
of
of five.
lucky ones.
How was it? What did it taste like?
I would say it tasted very similar to Red Bull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better or worse, same.
Just, it's an energy.
He's doing a, for those listening at home, he's doing an He's doing
not a lot of difference. I mean, I maybe wouldn't because I don't drink Red Bull normally. So I would, if you put them in front of me, I wouldn't know which one is which, to be honest,
Right. But it tastes like
That's
one of those.
honestly an endorsement for them.
Yeah. No,
they
Dietrich said that he didn't care about what it tasted like. It was all about the vibes.
Right.
And the vibes were right with Red Bull. I guess they wound up being wrong with Rich Energy. Okay. Vankas, this episode is brought to you by our amazing partners at Cash App. Not only does Cash App sponsor our favorite perfectly branded Formula One team, but they also make it easier for you to save money so you can do the things you love, like going to an F1 race, which is something that we did in Silverstone, thanks to Cash App. Listen, to be honest, we thought that Cash App was just a way to send people money, but it's also a faster and simpler way to bank. You can start saving with as little as $1 with no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no account fees. And we all know that overdraft fees make no sense. Why are you charging someone if they don't have any money? You're going to penalize Haas? What's wrong with you? Plus, if you deposit $300 or more in paychecks, you get up to $50 in free overdraft coverage. It pays to get paid on Cash App. So go download Cash App today. All right, now back to the show. This is from Christian DePrano. What is your all-time favorite race?
My all-time favorite race. I think when we finished 4th and 5th in Austria in 2018, you know, just the result is cool because otherwise the races, I mean, you enjoy them all, but that is pretty cool if you finish 4th and 5th. That's something.
Yeah. What was the celebration like that night? Did you guys do it up? Did you do it up big? No.
You don't do it up big. We're on the podium.
But on a great result right there for a team like Haas.
Yeah.
You don't regret that? You didn't smell
you
the
don't regret
roses?
going out with the boys afterwards?
No, because at that stage you're also upset not to be on the podium. You know, you've got this feeling. You're 4th and 5th. We could have done the podium, and but you realize how good 4th and 5th was when you're not making it anymore,
right. Back with hindsight.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I tried to walk down
before. Not now. Now I know myself.
But that's why I tried to walk down the paddock one more time because I might never be here again. You sometimes you don't know when it's the peak.
It's true.
So you keep on hanging around the whole weekend in here and not wanting to
They're
go
gonna
away.
have to drag me out.
They're
gonna have to call security on me.
We'll find some nooks and crannies to hide ourselves in.
I got a movie made when I was very young, and I was like, I thought it was cool, but like, I'll be back here, and I didn't know that was like probably going to be one of the highlights of my life. It's just,
but just as I said, you just know it afterwards, And
but I'm asking if you regret it, and you're like, no.
No, because even if I regret it, I just realized afterwards how great it was. But do I regret it? No.
Yeah, but I'm saying is nowadays you try to smell the roses more.
Yeah,
okay.
I try to, but then I forget again, and then I realize again afterwards.
There we go.
You know me by now.
A leopard can't change its spots. Okay. We've got a lot of listeners, a lot of people who look up to you. They do. People who love you. And they love what you're all about. Well, they don't really listen.
Well, they don't listen. But guess what? I feel the people that like hate you and just have to listen to hate. That's a different type of pathology.
There are some people that love you who hate us, and they make those feelings known. And hello. But if you could give one piece of advice to today's youth, for the young kids who maybe look up to you, what would it be?
I mean. Live your dream is what you say. It is cheesy almost to say, but it's very cheesy to say. Yes. But in the end, if you like something, try hard to do it. Try to be part of it, not just look at it. Not just look it up. Try to get engaged. Try to get something out of it for yourself. Don't watch me. Try to do what I did, I mean, you can try, I mean, it works. I mean, I always tried, if I like something, I try to risk and move on, but, and never be afraid to fail, because if one door closes, another one opens. It's always like this in life, I mean, stay positive about it, and then you make progress. If you never do anything, you stand still. You know, it's like that's what I always say. I mean, if you don't start anything and this is I think I cannot do this. Try it. A lot of people can do things which they are not aware they can.
That they can do. Have you exceeded your expectations in that way? Like when you were first getting into this world, you wanted to be a part of motorsport. What was your? Did you have like? Have you exceeded your dream again and again?
I always went on with my. I never thought that I would work in motorsport when I was younger. You know, I never thought I could make it. I made it there, and then would I have thought that I can be a technical director of something? No, but it happens, you know.
Yeah.
Things happen in life. I mean, if you work hard and you believe in yourself, and then obviously sometimes you have to take a risk. You know, I could have said, "Oh, I don't do this because I'm pretty comfortable here." You know, when I went into Formula One, I've never been in Formula One. I was in rallying. I was pretty, you know, well set. You know, I could say I can do this to the end of my days. You know, until I retire. But I said, no, let's try something new. You know, it's like take the risk and do it. And if it goes wrong, we will see what we do then. I mean, you know, I didn't overthink it.
I like it.
Maybe I think too simplistic, but that is how I think.
No, I think it's a good way of thinking, because sometimes if you overthink, then you don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. You don't
You're
do
just
anything.
sitting in your room, not doing anything, and wishing that things were different.
Not making a decision is the worst decision.
So just move, like a shark.
Have you had to do that with your daughter? Like, you know, I don't know if I should run for class president. Do it.
Yeah. Do you give her that advice?
Oh, I don't. She doesn't need any advice.
Oh, really? she's doing it on her own.
Yeah, some of the things, yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
But you see yourself in her, like she's just a go-getter?
I would say so. She's a go-getter. You know, I mean, I don't remember how I was when I was 15 years old. You know, it's so long time ago because I'm an old man compared with you guys. You still remember when you were 15.
That's right.
Get to my age, you have forgotten it. You know.
Yeah.
You don't remember anything from
No.
our age?
No, I don't want to.
Your wife said you had quite the hair.
Oh yeah, she was telling us that you had long hair down to like your shoulders.
My wife talks a lot, though. I need to keep her away from you.
She said that
guys.
you looked like a rock star.
Yeah. Gene Simmons vibes.
Gene Simmons vibes.
Yeah.
I had long hair. Yeah.
When did you decide to part with it?
When did you decide to part with that?
I cut them off. I cut them very short once when I did the Paris-Dakar. That was in the beginning of the 90s, maybe 91. I think 90 or 91 I did the Paris-Dakar. You know, obviously going to Paris-Dakar, you don't want to go with long hair.
I see. It was a practical decision.
I hate doing the Paris-Dakar with long hair.
I always do a buzz before it.
Did you have like a rock star that you looked up to? Was there an aesthetic you were going for?
No.
Okay.
I mean, nobody's as ugly as me. Jesus.
He's the rock star. He looks in the mirror and says, I am the rock star.
You're one of one.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now you're just a fucking Vanka.
Now people go to the barbershop, they say, give me the Guenther.
Give me the Guenther.
Yeah.
All right, we got to run because we're going to go talk to Stefano Domenicali, the CEO of Formula One, which when we were thinking of, exceeding any wildest dream, this was never on the cards.
Yeah.
But certainly when we got into this thing, the idea that we would be talking to Stefano was insane.
Yeah.
Let alone talking to you. All right, we got to run because we'll be talking with Stefano Domenicali in a second, Vankas.
All right.